And if they ask you, you will say the first goal in the new format of the Champions League was scored by Juventus, Kenan Yildiz in particular. And I will tell you that it was an absolute banger, and we will get to that soon, because hello and welcome back to the UCL this week. Very excited to start this new Champions League season with you. This coverage is always some of my favorite throughout the season because there's always something to talk about. There's always a little juice to squeeze. And my brothers and sisters, I will not be able to speak at length about every match. There's too many matches. Some will be reserved for the sort of quick little hits, you know? I'll give you a quick little hit of that match. We'll chat about the table and top scorers and assists and everything towards the end of the video. I'll try to not speak about the same teams over and over again week after week. I mean, I guess they do play completely different opponents, so it's not like we'll have repeat fixtures, but you get me. I'll try to spread the love where I can. As I spoiled immediately when this video started, Juve went down in history as the first team to score in the new format of the Champions League, and they couldn't have asked for a nicer goal to be replayed over and over. As Kenan Yildiz, part of this terrifying twosome of Arda Güler and himself for Turkey, cut inside on his right foot, and with the PSV defenders giving him room to shoot, he hit quite literally a perfect strike, in my opinion. It was absolutely unsavable in that top corner, bouncing in off of the inside of the post. Ugh. I was repeating wow, 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 wow over and over again in my room as if I had been concussed or something. And Juve's second was quite decent as well, wasn't it? Ball into Vlahovic, who can't quite get it under his spell, but took the defender out of the play with his strength on the ball there, and McKennie was there to clean it all up. And Nico Gonzalez, who played in Yildiz for the first goal, scored Juve's third. Consolation for PSV at the end, but Juve the deserving winners. Big time. They're looking good under Motta. PSV disappointed me in some ways, but I think you have to give a ton of credit to Juve for how they played this match. PSV is not an easy opponent. They have been on fire in the Eredivisie to start. 5 consecutive wins from 5 matches, 20 goals scored and 3 against. So a great start from Motta. They look good. And a special shout out to Dusan Vlahovic for that pass to set up Gonzalez as well. Disjointed back line, but well done for him to pick him out. Real Madrid taking on Stuttgart, that was a fun one. Didn't go as we expected perhaps, as Stuttgart were causing issues very early in this match. You had Courtois being forced into a save from a very tight angle early, then a mistake at the back, allowing Stuttgart a one-on-one with Courtois, but they blew it past the post. It was very nervy stuff for Real Madrid. They were not playing well in that first half. In fact, Stuttgart were playing through Real Madrid unbelievably easily, and Courtois was forced into another big save in the 16th minute. In the end, it was offside by a foot or so, but Real Madrid were asleep all the same, offside or not, and they were struggling to make anything happen in the attack themselves. Despite Stuttgart dominating the chances early, Real Madrid's individual quality started to come through as the half progressed, and it became a stretched end-to-end affair where Stuttgart even had a 3-versus-2 counter in the 28th minute, and their deflected strike bounced off of the bar and out for a corner. Ay, man. Antonio Rudiger, who played for Stuttgart at the beginning of his career, nearly thought he had won Real Madrid a penalty. To me, it was never a penalty, and referee Umut Miller was called to review it at the monitor, to which you could see that Mittelstadt didn't touch Rudiger, and if he had, it was the most minimal baby's breath of touches ever, and not worth the show from Rudiger. A good try, Rudiger. You played the part of an injured man well, but unfortunately the footage didn't back you up, like at all. So Real Madrid looked poor, and lucky to be level at the half. But as is always the case, Real Madrid are the masters of this, masters of game state. If you let them hang around long enough without killing them off, without punishing them in the first half, they will flip the game on its head in the second half. Ancelotti will work his magic in the dressing room, the players will sort of coach themselves in many cases, and they will be a different team in the second half. Usually at least. More often than not in this competition especially. And it took them just 22 seconds. 22 seconds into the second half, Rodrigo was through, squared to Mbappe, and it was 1-0. Just like that. But to their credit, Stuttgart weathered the storm, got one back themselves through Undav, nice header there, a looping header across goal, and later would concede from a corner as well as Rudiger, former Stuttgart man, haunted his old team. Real Madrid supporters need to pray extra hard to their Thibaut Courtois shrines this week because he's what kept them in this. He bailed them out time and time again. Really frustrating for Stuttgart. And then, of course, Endrick came on as a sub, and Endrick managed to score against Stuttgart for 3-1. Really random goal from Bobby. The keeper should have absolutely done better. You could see him checking his post twice, then tried to cheat to the other side, and this strike had no business going in. But hit it low with power, and you never know what's going to happen, right? 3-1 Real Madrid. So we all know how to beat AC Milan now, don't we? Simple. Get all of your biggest boys up for free kicks, have them stand on the 6-yard box, and they will win every single cross in there. That's exactly what Liverpool did, as AC Milan actually started really well, with Pulisic scoring a beautiful goal, low pass Alisson into the corner. But from a free kick, it was way too easy for Konate to head past Maignan, and later from a corner, way too easy for Van Dijk. But it wasn't just the set pieces, as Liverpool grew into this game and were winning the midfield battle as well. You can't understate what a revelation Gravenberch has been, right? He looks a brand new player under Arne Slot, and that's one of the things that we highlighted in the Arne Slot profile we did before he even signed with Liverpool. Once again, Liverpool didn't get a defensive midfielder, and Arne Slot just got on with it and helped turn a player's career in a more positive direction now, while making do with what the club gave him. He did that all the time at Feyenoord, just made do, and he's had to do that at Liverpool after a quiet market. It's not like Liverpool has a squad though, right? Anyway, Gravenberch finally allows McAllister to get further up the pitch, which is what you want to see from McAllister, something closer to the position he plays for Argentina. Also with Szoboszlai in that more advanced role. Sick finish from him for the third goal for Liverpool, but the way Szoboszlai would glide through the pitch against Milan was really fun to watch, both progressing the ball through his passing and driving into space on the dribble. AC Milan, man, they are having a tough time to get started under Fonseca. Just 1 win in 5 competitive matches, and that was against newly promoted Venezia. I really want to love Fonseca as a manager, but it's like he has one good job, one bad job. Good job, bad job. Shakhtar good, Roma bad. Lille good, Milan bad. Maybe it's just an Italy thing. Maybe he's allergic to management in Italy. And also on day 1, we had Bayern Munich drop kicking Dinamo Zagreb all the way back to Croatia with a 9-2 beatdown. Man, that's a lot of can yabba dabba doos to listen to for those poor Zagreb players, you know? 1 goal, 2 goals, 2 abba dabbas, 3 dabba doos. 9 times. They had to hear this 9 times. Brilliant and hilarious from Bayern, horrible for opponents, especially those that take 9 servings to the dome like that. You know, at one point Zagreb made it interesting with those 2 goals in 2 minutes to cut Bayern's lead back to just 1 goal at 3-2, but Bayern ran away. Zagreb's defending was extremely narrow and naive. Bayern could easily pass around them, but they played some good stuff too. It's not all just Zagreb being poor. Anyway, Kane scored a hat trick of penalties plus another goal, so he's on 4 already in the competition. Once he had his hat trick, I was surprised that he didn't give the pen to someone else, but it is his goal to win the European Golden Boot again, so they'll just let him keep on banging them in, right? Next, Bayern play Werder Bremen and then Bayer Leverkusen. So after these 2 easy matches against Holstein Kiel and Dinamo Zagreb, the tough ones will start to roll in and we'll get to see what Bayern's made of. Aston Villa marked their return to the Champions League with a huge 3-0 win over Young Boys. Tielemans starting things off, Jacob Ramsey, the homegrown fella, getting the second, and Amadou Onana with the third, set up by Tielemans. Nice Belgian link up there. Onana, by the way, has 3 goals in 5 Aston Villa appearances. And Viktor Gyökeres is a menace. He is a massive problem and he can't stop scoring. Someone needs to stop this dude because it's getting out of control. He scored yet again in Sporting's Champions League match against Lille. De Bast with the other in Sporting's 2-0 win. But Gyökeres has scored in every single match he has played in this season for both club and country, besides the Super Cup against Porto where he only got 2 assists in that game. What a tryhard, hey? Only 12 goals and 5 assists in 9 appearances. You reek of desperation for goals and assists, Victor. You know, in my preview, I spoke of how Celtic over the last few years have played well, but still often lost. So it was nice to see them win a Champions League game, win in front of their fans, an emphatic one as well, 5-1 over Slovan Bratislava. Well, maybe not the most memorable opponent, but a big win is a big win, and they need the points. All respect to Slovan Bratislava, who managed to score their first goal in Champions League history, but Celtic were on it early. They were all over them. Maeda could have scored after just 5 minutes, but he hit it over the bar. Celtic carried the lead at halftime, but the second half is where the chaos broke out. A span of 23 minutes saw 4 goals go in, 3 for Celtic, 1 for Bratislava. Kevin Wimmer with maybe the tastiest goal of the night, in my opinion. The way he scythed that ball, scythered it in across the goal and into the top corner. It was a fun one to watch. So Celtic start things off right with a 5-1 drubbing of the Bratislava boys. But what about the Sparta Praha pals? How did they do in their return to the Champions League up against a very tricky Red Bull Salzburg side coached by Jurgen Klopp's former assistant, Pep Linders? Sparta Praha absolutely smacked Salzburg, man. I did not expect this scoreline, but it was a welcome surprise, that's for sure. Sparta scored after 1 minute and 47 seconds. Then Victor Olatunji volleyed in from a tight angle around halftime. Later, they would get a third. What a win for Sparta Praha. It's happening again, ladies and fellas. Yes, another young Englishman is thriving at Borussia Dortmund. They defeated Club Brugge 3-0 away, and Jamie Gittins, the sub, you may know him as Jamie Bino Gittins last season. He dropped the Bino, and he scored a brace. The first was deflected. The second was a sick goal, a few step overs before stepping around his man and powering it into the bottom corner. Girassi then won a penalty and converted that as well. Dortmund could be fun this season. I mean, it's great seeing Nuri Sahin and Lucas Piszczek on the bench together. A couple of Kloppo boys now taking the reins at Borussia Dortmund. Gittins, by the way, 4 goals in his last 4 matches for Borussia Dortmund. He is hot right now. Bologna marked their return to the top tier of the UEFA Champions League with a draw against Shakhtar. PSG hosted Girona, and we had another look at Donny van de Beek, which is nice to see, right? What a downfall for this poor guy. Sold to Girona from Man United for 500,000 euros. That's crazy. You hate to see it, but love to see him playing in the Champions League again, even if it wasn't that memorable of a night for him. So PSG were being held well by Girona in Paris for much of this game until Enrique made some substitutions around the hour mark, bringing on João Neves, Kang-in Lee, Desiree Doué. From there, PSG started playing well, with Hakimi in particular looking dangerous down the right side, João Neves linking play in the midfield. Eventually, they got their breakthrough in the 90th minute from a goal from Nuno Mendes, except it was given as an own goal because it was such a horrible, horrible mistake from Paulo Gazzaniga. Nuno Mendes scored from here. His attempted cross went off of the defender and through Gazzaniga's legs. Ouch, should have caught that. What a terrible way to lose. I really do feel for Girona there. Manchester City versus Inter. This was supposed to be the big one of the day, but it failed to deliver in some respects. It was a good watch for Tacticos, which I am not, so even I could enjoy watching this one though. But Guardiola versus Inzaghi is proving to be quite the stalemate, isn't it? Only one Rodrigo goal separates them across 180 minutes of football. And it's not like each side didn't have opportunities, because they did. But Ederson and Sommer managed to stop everything that came their way. Gundogan, however, could have scored for sure with that header. 0-0 here again. Both teams will be relatively happy with the draw, as they are definitely each other's more difficult, maybe not the most, but more difficult opponents. A pleasant surprise for my team, Benfica. Right, it's 24 hours later, by the way, hence the wardrobe change. But yes, Benfica going away to the Maracana in Belgrade, a place where nobody had won a match since Manchester City in last season's Champions League. And after just 30 minutes, Benfica were 2-0 up. Akterkolu, whom I've loved from what I've seen thus far, and Kokchu with the goals. We all love Turkey, don't we, folks? We love him. Kokchu, by the way, that free kick from him was just a stunner. So glad he's getting the treatment his talent deserves at the club now. Didn't love how he spoke out last season, but his talent is unquestionable. He has to be central to Benfica's success. Red Star did pull one back, and things looked pretty scary for Benfica toward the end of the match, but they held on. That's 2 consecutive matches won for Benfica since Lage took over again. My expectations were extremely low, so thank you for going above my expectations, Benfica. It feels great. 2-1 win away in a tough environment. Bayer Leverkusen, a team that I could have seen going in either direction in the Champions League this season, started out about as well as you could ask of a team. 4-0 away to Feyenoord at De Kuip. Really great reaction from Leverkusen after losing that match against Leipzig. They've shown on 2 occasions now that they can bounce back from a loss, that it doesn't become a habit or they fall into a funk. And that's largely down to having an incredible leader like Xabi Alonso. After losing the Europa League final, didn't faze them, went and took care of business in Germany still. Florian Wirtz on his Champions League debut took just 5 minutes to score. Feyenoord caught with their pants around their ankles, also known as caught trying to play the ball out from the back and losing it in their own midfield. And the defenders tracked the run rather than close down Wirtz, who rolled it into the corner. Grimaldo made a darting run to the back post for Leverkusen's second, completely unmarked. Easy finish from him. Then it was Groundhog Day as Wirtz floated in unmarked at the back post for 3-0 after 36 minutes, and Tapsoba got the 4th for Leverkusen before the half was up. Free kick from Grimaldo, and Tapsoba's header just squeaked in under Wellenreuther. Game over by then. Leverkusen were able to hold off the Feyenoord attacks in the second half. Big return to the Champions League from Leverkusen. 4-0 the final. Barcelona went away to AS Monaco, the team I picked as the nightmare Pot 4 side, the team that nobody wants from Pot 4. And while Barcelona played well for stretches, they made their lives difficult. More like Ter Stegen made their lives difficult, as he played an absolute hospital pass straight to Takumi Minamino essentially, and Eric Garcia was forced to act, and act he did. He hauled down Minamino and was sent off for it. Minutes later, Akliouche had scored, the 22-year-old cutting inside and hitting low past the German keeper. Lamine Yamal, honestly one of the best attackers in the world, full stop, not even young attackers, just best in the world. Then brought Barcelona back to level terms when he scored his trademark goal, cutting in from the right on his left foot, though the finish was low past the keeper as well. Just like Akliouche, it wasn't his top corner far post finish. Barcelona actually played quite well when they were a man down. Koundé and Kubarsi in particular were really impressive for them, but one of the youngsters that I pointed out as a guy to watch, Elena Kena, he was substituted on in the second half, and just as he did for Antwerp last season, he managed to get in behind Barcelona's defenders with a very clever run and a finish past Ter Stegen to make it 2-1 AS Monaco. Ter Stegen perhaps could have done better on this, but take nothing away from the young Nigerian striker. Top talent to watch out for this season. I promise you that. Arsenal went away to Atalanta and had a very difficult time. Atalanta, of course, the Europa League champions, and they were very thankful that Ademola Lookman is back and available to them, because he is a special player that is often a difference maker for Atalanta. He wasn't on this occasion. This was a night where Arsenal's defenders were the star players, really. Raya as well, who saved a penalty from Matteo Retegui just after the half. 0-0 there. Arsenal continue to look a bit poor when they go away in Europe, continuing where they left off last season. Poor against Porto away, poor against Bayern away. Atletico Madrid got a late winner from Jose Maria Jimenez as they defeated RB Leipzig at the Metropolitano. Antoine Griezmann had scored what was an equalizer earlier in the match, that being an equalizer to Benjamin Seschko's early goal. 2-1 there from Atleti. That's a great result from one of their more difficult matches in their fixtures. And finally, my boys Stade Brestois also got a win. It was a day of 2-1 wins, Stade Brestois hosted Sturm Graz in Guingamp, not in Brest, as their stadium doesn't meet UEFA requirements, but they still played well as the home side all the same. Magnetti scored with a nice volley at the edge of the box to open things, and Brest were in control for much of this game, but toward the end of the half, Sturm Graz got an equalizer. All good though. Abdallah Sima with the winner for Stade Brestois in the second half. Great control, and then a half volley past the keeper. Really nice stuff from Stade Brestois. Salzburg next. Come on, fellas. I mean, the table isn't all that useful to look at in this moment, but here's the top, where of course Bayern lead at the moment, and the rest of the high-scoring teams follow them in Celtic, Leverkusen, and on it goes. Anyone who scored a lot and won are up there. And then the bottom, all of the heaviest losers, of course, those that conceded a lot. Like I said, no real point in even looking at the table at the moment, but there it is, in case you wanted to see it. But as far as the Golden Boot race goes for this competition, a massive lead for Kane already. Well, a 2-goal lead. In fact, Bundesliga domination in the Golden Boot race. Places 1 through 4 are all players from German clubs. Musiala and Kimmich lead when it comes to assists, though shout out to Vanderson of AS Monaco, who set up both of his team's goals in that victory over Barcelona. All right, guys, that's it. What an absolutely terrifyingly long video. I mean, I think I'll see once I get to the editing, but if anyone is still watching, you are an absolute legend, and I love you. I am not a legend. I am Adrian, and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you. What was this? What is this? I just pointed at you guys with this. Anyway, bye.